This segment is brought to you by United Healthcare.
Well, welcome back to Living Local. Today I'm joined once again by Dr. DeMarco. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Today we're talking about heart health. Do you have some tips for me on what our viewers can do to keep their hearts healthy?
I sure do. You know, the first thing is you really need to know what your risk is. We're all kind of at risk, some of us more so than others. You know, the other thing that's important to know is did somebody in your family die from a heart attack at a young age? Or did they have a stroke at a young age? Those are people that are even more at risk than the average member of our society. You know, it's important, we always say it's important to go see your provider. It's very important to go see your provider, but also do the screenings that they recommend. Get your cholesterol checked. Get your blood pressure checked, because those things, if you can keep those things under control, it really reduces your risk for bad heart disease going forward. And that's really what it's all about.
And one thing I've heard is that heart disease is one of those things that sometimes gets caught a little too late, and that you want to know kind of the signs, but also you want to know what signs could maybe be anxiety or other symptoms, because you don't want to always think that you're going to have a heart attack in case your chest hurts,
Right, absolutely. I think the things that are important to know is your cholesterol high. If your cholesterol is high, you really need to do things to get that under control. The other thing is your blood pressure high? Because if your blood pressure is high, your heart is working much harder to pump the blood through your body. And any muscle that works hard gets big. But your heart, the problem is if it gets big, it tends to get floppy. And that's when we go on and have congestive heart failure. So, it's important to get those things under control. Another thing is do you smoke? Cigarette smoking can raise your blood pressure. And again, you can end up having issues with congestive heart failure down the road. Or elevated blood pressure can also lead itself to stroke. So we talk about high blood pressure as the silent killer, but in all honesty, it really is. Unless you check your blood pressure regularly, get it checked regularly, you don't know if you're walking around with high blood pressure. And not knowing really and truly is not a good place to be, because you really prevent long-term problems if you know and you get it under control.
Now, other than getting the tests done that you need to, are there any other tips that you might have in terms of diet and exercise?
Absolutely. It all comes down to diet and exercise. So the big thing with diet is lots of fruits, lots of veggies. Watch the salt shaker. You don't want to be shaking at the table. You can cook with some salt, but don't add any extra salt to that. The other thing is remember that anything that's quick to your table generally is probably not good for you. Meaning that if it's prepared and you throw it in the microwave, it could be processed. And those foods tend to be high in fat and high in salt, so we want to avoid those. The other thing is take your family out and go for a walk around the block. Do those simple kinds of things, keep moving, and that all helps to control your blood pressure, as well as get your heart into shape and get you into shape. And make sure you get a good night's sleep too, because that actually does a lot more than what we thought it used to.
All right, Dr. DeMarco, thank you so much. Guys, if you want more on heart health and all different types of ailments that you might be dealing with, there's lots of information on www.uhc.com.